Early in the evening, we have reached the city of Dahnundur. And what has happened is we've crossed the river slightly further west of the Great Bridge of Dahnundur, because you notice that it seemed to have been occupied by Scorn interlopers that severely outnumbered you. And when you were crossing, Dristan making you aware of less than reputable contact that he may or may not have had within his organization, it seems that there were bounties out for your capture, which were to be brought back to most of you perceived as an ordinary tavern. But Ravik, you noticed that the Black Cask seems to be the name. The last thing that happened is you got to the city and sneaked over the walls, but Dristan, you distracted one of the monk guards and have set off separately, though briefly, to the rest of your compatriots. It is currently the early evening. You are all inside the walls in the city of Dahnundur. Let's open it up quite broadly. We'll come to the party first. While Dristan distracted this member of the druidic monks and headed off with him in one direction, what are the rest of you doing?
Oh, so we're on the wall.
Yep.
And is there an obvious way down?
Yeah, there are intermittent steps that can come down. It's quite a large pseudo-Babylonian style wall, about 40 feet tall, and then intermittently there are towers and steps, various ways to descend. Dristan has actually begun to descend with the other monk that he called to.
And what's below this wall? Like, what part of the city is this? Does this seem to be?
Can you roll a perception check, please, Ravik?
17, fail.
So you're not massively sure. However, slightly southeast of where you are, it looks like there is a particularly large open area. So there seems to be some kind of plaza-like area far to the southeast. But otherwise, you're not really sure. This could be residential. It's not really clear.
Okay, I take the leave of the party and try to descend stealthily.
Okay. If everyone is descending stealthily together, can Zaro, Ravik, Ilander, and Storbal, can you all roll a dexterity stealth check, please?
I have advantage as well.
Okay.
That's an 8. Great success.
Okay, fantastic, Ilander. There are 4, yeah? Okay.
7. Great success.
Okay.
3, a great success.
Excellent. All of you descend very stealthily down the steps, and you see that Tennyson seems to be somewhat distracted. You're not entirely sure by what, but as he begins to descend, you see he almost goes to slip, to make the scuffing noise, manages to catch himself, and you are after a few seconds of descent. Dristan, you're still ahead as you're walking with this monk. You're heading east towards what you know to be the citadel, or rather the monastery that acts as the capital building of this city. The rest of you are at the base of the wall in the southwest portion of the city. Storbal, can you roll an intelligence check, please?
Of course I can. Total fail.
Fantastic. That's fine. That's fine. You've been to the city before, you're pretty sure.
Looks familiar.
As you watch, Dristan is heading east, and the rest of you are at the base of the wall.
So we can see him. We can see Justin.
He's not too far ahead of you. He's wandering down the streets. He's going to be out of sight. You know, if you leave him to go, he will be gone. But right now, he's within your extended view. And where you are, there doesn't seem to be a massive amount of foot traffic.
Right.
Okay,
I'm not seeing too many people.
I signify to Jazz to basically keep on his tail, but in a low key.
Okay.
So Jess will follow Tristan.
Should we all follow as well, but from a distance?
We can as well. Yeah. I think Jess will have that upper hand.
Yeah.
Okay, no worries. So as you're heading through, Dristan, please. Is there anything that you're specifically saying or asking or checking with this other monk while you're walking east? You're muted, Tristan.
I guess I just have a normal conversation. You've seen that massive ship that's just pulled in?
Roll a d20.
$13.
What's your charisma modifier?
0.
Okay. He kind of, as you're walking, he gives you a bit of a frown. Yeah. A big ship that's sailed in. What ship are you talking about?
I don't know. I didn't catch the name.
Well, I haven't seen a big ship into the city. There's been a blockade, isn't there?
Well, that's news to me. What happened? Why is there a blockade?
Do you mean? He kind of frowns a little bit at you. So, with everything. Well, where have you been?
Some could say I've been living under a rock.
Well, obviously, if you don't know about the blockade, we've got all of our security up. There's threats coming from the north.
That's not good.
No, it's not. That's why we've got our long-range scouts out on the west, making sure the river's shored up. We even send parties to the east as well. While Tristan is walking and talking and making a variety of facial expressions, Zaro, please, as you've sent Jask ahead of you to keep an eye more specifically, yeah? Mm-hmm. Can you just roll a dexterity stealth check for Jask, please?
I'm sorry. That is a 12 success.
12 success, fantastic. So as Jask is moving forward, the night is becoming slightly darker. The evening is kind of transitioning to night. And you're just pushing straight east. As we continue east to Storble, please roll a d20.
5. What is this for?
No, it's an intelligence check.
Oh, okay.
I know. That's fine. Just every so often, as you're kind of walking through the city Storble, it feels familiar, but you can't put your finger on. It's like there's a thought coming to you, and then it's gone. Every so often, as you're just kind of walking around, it's stirring memories in you, but there's something that you just can't quite place. Illinder, as the party's heading east and following this guy, what exactly are you doing about your current wing situation?
Well, at the moment, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think I was able to find any way of disguising it. So I think at the moment I'm just trying to keep them close to me and try and keep in the shadows as much to hide them as much as I can.
That's fine. So as you all continue east, right near the wall, there didn't seem to be too much activity, but the further into the center of the city you go, even though it is evening, you are like seeing that there is more foot traffic. You are seeing that there are more people, many kind of heading home for the evening. There are a few, bars and taverns kind of still out and running for They're
Is there any
patrons.
kind of way that I can get on like the rooftops and try and jump from rooftop to rooftop?
There's absolutely a way you can try. Are you? So, how are you getting to the rooftop? Is the question.
I'll find like an alley that's dark,
Okay.
and then unfurl my wings and try and fly up there.
You're just gonna kind of just stealth fly
Yeah.
up an alley. Okay.
And then as soon as I'm up there, yeah, it's just sort of jump from rooftop and glide.
Jump and glide. Okay, so we've got. Okay, first of all, can you just roll a soft luck check, please? A passive luck check. So just roll a d20.
It's a 5, so it's a great success.
Okay, fantastic. So your luck is not changed. This is a soft check.
Cool.
As you head down the alley, you see several figures kind of moving around. And you stop for a moment. It seems that they've dissipated and that there's no one in this alley. It seems you've got it clear. I won't make you roll to fly because you are capable of flying 30 feet per round. However, I now need you to roll a dexterity stealth check. You have disadvantage, but that is cancelled out by your regular advantage, I believe.
It's a 15, which is still a decent success.
Okay. So the rest of you have noticed that Illander has kind of decided to exit to one side and is now above you. It seems, Illander, that this initial flight has not drawn any attention. But with your intelligence score, I don't even need you to roll. As you run and jump from building to building, that's either going to be incredibly stealthy because no one's looking up, or it's going to be the worst thing you can do.
I mean, I feel like I can't back down. Like, I feel like I shouldn't even roll for this because I feel like at no point will my pride allow me to go back on this plan now.
You have made the plan. You cannot. You've decided.
No.
You've done all this effort to get onto the building. Fantastic, excellent. All right. In that case, Illander, roll me one more d20. Just roll me a d20.
That's a natural 3.
Okay.
So a great success.
Absolutely. Roll me. 1, 2. Roll me 3d6, please.
Uh, 9.
Okay, fantastic. So you are continuing with this plan, moving from rooftop to rooftop. And it seems, as of yet, you're okay. You're getting away with it.
And I just want to keep an eye on the guys, and I want to keep an eye on Tristan.
No problem. Okay, that's fine. So you can actually keep track of Tristan. They're not moving particularly quickly. Tristan and this other monk just seem to be walking somewhat leisurely through the streets.
And as I'm doing this, my voice goes ever so more gravelly. Yeah. I am the night.
Oh, no.
I am vengeance.
Excellent. Fantastic. All right. Zaro or Ravik, as you are heading through the city. So, Zaro, you're keeping an eye on Jask primarily, yes? To keep an eye on, that's absolutely fine. Tristan, you're with the monks, that's fine. So, Ravik, I'm going to need you to roll me a D100, please.
Okay. $43.
Okay. As you continue through the streets, you hear, or rather, before you hear, you smell something really good. Really good. And you hear a shout from one of the corners. Pies! Gurk Garzak's famous pies! And it smells like spices that remind you of before your conscious memory begins. It's a very visceral, childlike response that you have. These aren't just normal pies. These are Autumn Isles pies that you can smell.
Interesting. Can I see the pie cellar?
Yep, you can. You can see a large, portly man with a little vendor, a little stall on one corner of the street, and you can see there are a variety of meat pies on this little. And he's holding kind of one in his hand, and he's calling out to all these people. Some people walk past. One or two people do stop to buy. It seems that he's somewhat popular in this area, but you hear this shout and you smell this smell, and it just fills your mind with warmth.
Okay. Wow.
As everyone's walking, Dristan and the monk head straight past. They're on a mission. Zara walks straight past as well, keeping an eye on Jask. But it is you, Ravik, who clock this quite innately. Storble, you hear this as well. There is a man on a street corner shouting, "Pies for sale!" And
I'll nudge Storble. I'll just say, "I'll just be a minute, all right? You just
you eyeing up those pies as well?"
Yeah, but maybe for a different reason. I'll you carry on. I'll catch up.
Could you get me on as well if you are buying one?
Same here, amigo.
Zaro kind of. Wait. Are we doing a pie run?
I might. If you really want them, I might need a bit of financial assistance. If you know what I mean.
How much do you reckon they are? I'll hand out all I've got and just shove it in his hand.
How much money do you have, Storble?
4 florins and a shilling.
4 florins and a shilling. Okay.
Wow,
so a fair amount of silver.
That's
I don't know if that would be enough, but
I'll bring the change back.
I give you 10 florins.
Whoa. This is the most money I've seen in quite some time.
Rafik, you've got a week's wages in your hand.
All right. I'll walk over to the pie salesman.
You kind of see people are moving past. He completes the sale and says, "Oh, thank you very much, sir. It's right." And so he kind of looks up at you. "Oh." And gestures. "Pie?"
Well, you're not from round here, are you, sir?
Oh. Round here is a very broad term, my friend. I'll have not originally, no.
Yeah, you sound very different to the locals.
So do you.
Yes.
But that's nothing that a little pie can't fix when it comes into the minds of the locals. They don't care what you sound like if you fill their bellies.
Is he on his own? Is there anyone with him at the start?
Right at the moment, he is on his own, just on the store. The last few customers just kind of walked off. He's still got a couple of pies left. Looks like a couple of them are even hot. It's like his evening batch.
I must say, they smell, well, wonderful.
I'm glad to hear you say so. Would you like to sample one of these?
Perhaps. Do you make them
Garzak's
yourself?
famous pies. We've been selling them here for, well, since I was a wee boy.
Garzak. So, are you Garzak?
I am. I'm Gurk Garzak.
Garzak. What a name. Interesting.
It is, isn't it? I got it from my father.
Does it sound scorn?
It doesn't sound Dahnundur, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Does it sound scorn? It's roll an intelligence check for me, please.
Eesh. Straight
Yeah,
up.
sorry. Just give me a straight up intelligence check. General law. Otherwise, if you have it.
No.
Oh, okay. Then straight up intelligence.
Oh, it was a 7, but it turns into a natural 20.
A natural 20. You are unsure as to whether you could say that this is a name from. It doesn't sound like a name from any of your knowledge, or from any of your people. Could it be a different tribe potentially?
Right.
It's not really clear.
So you make the pies yourself, Gert?
I make the pies. I taste the pies. I test the pies. I sell the pies.
Wonderful.
I take a piece of the pie when all is sold, and so does the government. Terrible.
It is truly a shame.
It is indeed.
I must say they smell familiar. Have you ever travelled outside of Dahnundur, sir?
I've been all around. I've traveled most of the coast. I settled down here a few years ago.
Interesting. And have your travels ever taken you to the Autumn Isles? Gert?
Roll a perception check.
Seven, which is a success.
Have my travels ever taken me to the Autumn Isles? Well, they might have done, but it's not exactly. It's not for me to go shouting my mouth out about what I may or may not have done in past lives. I sell pies.
What do you mean in past lives?
As you're speaking to him, you see his demeanor has shifted slightly, and he kind of looks you up and down. So, would you like to buy a pie?
I'm sorry if I'm wasting your time, sir. How big are the pies? Are they like?
So there's a variety of sizes. There's some like small pork pies, which are quite small. Then there are some larger, like full-blown meat pies that could probably serve like a pot pie family of 4 size. And there's a couple of different sizes. You reckon on a one of the larger pies would probably do you for a day.
Are there any vegetarian ones?
As Ilander is swooshing from building to building,
can I Aladdin it while he's talking? I
seller.
drop down and steal it.
You cannot smell any vegetarian pies, or there's nothing that it's crust. It's crust and little divots for some of them still steaming. It's not massively clear as to whether there are vegetarian pies, but you doubt it.
All right, sir. I'll take 3 small pies, please.
3 small pies. You kind of take a shilling off your hands, good sir.
That sounds fair.
Just the pies we're after. Just the 3.
Just the pies, you say?
I can give you 3 pies for a florin, or I can share a hearty conversation with a meal. And he picks up one of the bigger pies, and he takes a knife and he cuts it in half. So there's half a pie on this plate. So 2 halves of the pie on the plate. The best part of eating a pie is sharing a word with the cook, no?
Can't say I've ever tried it, but...
And as he cuts the pie open, yeah, this was the one you smelled.
Oh, okay, interesting. So they're not all like this. Okay. Huh. So you do want to talk to me? It sounded like you just wanted me to buy a pie and head on my way.
Well, he puts the plate down. I always make sure I've got enough for me, but it's if you want a pie and a conversation, it's a florin. If you want 3 small pies, it's a shilling.
All right then. Put a florin on the table.
Okay. He takes another plate and he puts half the pie, gives it to you, and he takes the other half. And he puts a little note on the cart, kind of pie break. So normally it just says pies. He puts a little additional sign. It flaps down over pies, and it blocks the S and says break.
Like
and he wanders off just a little bit and indicates for you to follow him. And he sits down on a little wooden chair just around one corner and gestures for you to sit on another next to this little wooden table that he's got set up just by his stall.
Look around briefly, and then I'll just sit down.
And he starts eating his pie.
I'll take a bite.
It's really good.
Mm.
It's really good pie. It's like as you're, the scene in Ratatouille, Please Don't Sue Us, where the critic is brought back to his childhood. That's how it hits you. It's almost like you don't even remember this, but you've eaten this, and it's almost genetic how this memory hits you. And you almost don't hear him as he begins to speak, but he looks straight at you, Ravik. Says much more demure this time. Who are you with, Scorn?
Who am I with? Well,
You're not one of Karsten's lackeys.
No, I'm not.
What are you doing here?
I'm looking for some people.
That's a solid answer. Looking for people. I'd say it's in a top 10 of things to facilitate before getting you out of my city. Who are you looking for?
Your city? Alright. Looking for some people who may have recently arrived. Well, to be honest with you, I'm not sure if they even have arrived yet.
He just leans and waits for you to speak.
Why are you so interested, sir? Pie salesman. Wanting to know my business.
Knowing people's business is one of the afforded advantages of being such a popular pie vendor. And whilst I like to keep my nose clean and ear to the ground, you've got a hot trail right behind you. Your face is not unknown.
So I understand.
And as far as I'm concerned, the people who want you are no friends of mine. So the faster you get out of my city, the happier I'll be.
All right. Well, seems that we share an enemy.
True. Don't trick yourself into thinking it makes us friends.
That's fair. I don't know you and you don't know me. Well, what do you propose then?
I propose I offer you my services at standard rates to find these people you're looking for, reunite you and them, and then get the whole lot of you out of Dodge.
That would be a good arrangement.
So I ask again, who are you looking for?
The people I'm looking for should have, or will be, arriving on a vessel, the ship.
The ship.
A merchant's vessel. Has anything of that sort arrived recently?
There is one. Arrived here from the north, just before Carston did.
Sounds like the one. I'm looking for people who were aboard that ship.
Well, if those people are anywhere as insightful as I would be, then they shouldn't have got off the boat.
Well, Carson wasn't here when they arrived.
No. I know the one you mean, though. It's a regular. The captain knows how things work here. I'd say the odds of them still being alive aren't all bad. But a boat like that is going to get blocked from exiting the city. The fact that the boat is in the docks, I can give you for free. Because it doesn't do anything for you unless you can get the gates open, the water gates. Now, there are gears that you can grease and monks you can bribe. I'm going to need 5 crowns.
And what if that sort of money wasn't at our disposal?
Well, then I guess I'd just have to put up with the repercussions that come with handing you over. But one way or another, I'm getting you out of my city.
Would you be open to alternative payment?
Yep. Gold, silver, copper, all of them.
All right. Tell you what.
If it's hot, it'll cost double.
What do you mean?
Kind of frowns and looks at you. Alternate payment, the kind of payment that doesn't actually belong to you. If it's hot, it'll cost you double.
Right. Well, it's not quite what I was thinking, but okay.
Question.
Yep.
How much is crowns in florins?
Right. Okay. So, one. Oh, sorry. Give me just one moment.
1 crown is 12
crown.
florins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1 crown is 12. Yeah. So 5 is 60 florins.
Because I've got a compass that's 1,200 florins. So is that
Yes, you do.
120 crowns, basically?
That's 100. Yeah. Well,
Sorry,
1,002. It's 100 crowns. Yeah.
100 crowns.
Yeah.
I was saying that. I've got, how many did he say? 4 crowns?
Said 5 crowns.
5 crowns.
All right. Tell you what, Girk. Give me a couple of hours. I'll speak to my associates and I'll get back to you. Is that reasonable enough for you?
Can probably wait. Give you about a day or so.
Right. Pie's delicious, by the way.
I know. I made it. Kind of with that, as he's finishing his one, he moves to stand. And
I stand as well. I take out a shilling and I say, still like those 3 pies though.
Fantastic. And as you return to the little pie stand, they're already bagged up in like this little kind of paper-like bag, and the oil and grease, and it's kind of all this healthy oil and grease kind of seeping to it. He hands you this little container with the 3 small pies, flicks up the little sign that goes back to pies.
You know, Gert, for someone who's not a big fan of Scorn, you cook a lot like one.
I never said it was the Scorn who were my enemy. Now run along.
Go.
Ravik, you have spent a little while talking. Before we do anything else, I need you to make a perception check, please.
18, fail.
You are in the city of Dahnundur, which you've never been to before, and no one's around. They've been following Tristan.
Yeah.
You are now in the city. Yes, Ilinda?
Can I see from my better perspective? Can I see what way they've gone?
Oh, so have you stayed with Ravik specifically?
Yeah. That's the way I've been.
That's
I
the way you've
assume
been
it because I
imagining
heard
it.
that conversation.
Okay. If that's, I'll allow it. I'll give you a perception check as well. That's fine.
Zara, they better hurry up with these pies.
Honestly, bro, I'm getting so hungry.
I'm dribbling already.
6, which is a greater success.
Ilinda, you can see in the distance the height of the walls of the monastery. And even though you can't actually see where they are right now, you're pretty sure, based on kind of peripheral information gathering, you're pretty sure that they're heading to that monastery. As it's the...
Cool.
Yeah.
Can I try and get Ravik's attention?
What are you doing to get Ravik's attention?
I'm just kind of walking around.
Good question. It's a very good question.
Bear in mind, Ravik there's a fair amount of footfall where Ravik currently is. He's kind of looking around. I
am, just so you know, I've been in tiger form this whole time since we climbed the wall.
That's fine.
So I'm going to take a florin and try and skim it and whack him on the shoulder or something. A way that nobody else should see, but he should see.
He's just going to throw a coin at him. Okay. Roll to hit. It's a thrown weapon, so strength and dex modifiers.
Strength and dex. Okay,
yep.
Cool. So that's an 18 plus 4 plus minus 1. So 18 plus 3.
Oh no.
That's fine. Ravik, a coin hits you in the side of the head, and you look around and there's a florin on the ground.
Wow. Your brain's muddy and Dahnundur.
It's kind of you've got this aching pain in your temple as this coin has hit you. Roll a perception check as you kind of recoil in.
If I look in the approximate direction, does it give me some sort of advantage?
Yeah, you can have +2 on the check.
Okay. Oh, I rolled a 2, so 0.
So a 0. You kind of turn, and you see this hunched figure on kind of the roof, kind of with these wings wrapped around him, and he's just nodding at you. And you squint as you see Ilinda once again hitting you and beating you up, even in this foreign city. Kind of, even now, he's a pain in your temple.
I pick up the coin and I just hold it up and I'll pocket it.
And I use my eyes, and I start going in the direction that they are in.
Alright, I'll try to keep tabs on him and follow.
Fantastic. Are you joining him on the roof, or are you following from the street?
No.
Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to rob in my Batman?
That would be pretty hilarious, though.
Are you in
bounding
tiger
like a tiger?
You're like in the tiger and the dragon. Fantastic. All right. While this is going on, Storble and Zara, you've been following Tristan, and you do see that they've kind of ended up on a more significant main road with a lot more thoroughfare. Or it is a thoroughfare. And you see that Tristan is walking towards the main gates of this large monastery, which Tristan, you can obviously speak the Sabric, the guards who are monks. The monks kind of just keeping an eye on the gate, which is open. There is limited traffic in and out. Kind of nod and greet you. You don't recognize these ones, Tristan. They don't seem to be monks that you've necessarily interacted with that much. You know that they've guarded this place before, but you're not on a first name basis. And Tristan is through and within the walls of this monastery. Zaro and Storble, please both roll a perception check as well.
That's a total fail.
Great success.
Zaro, especially with Jask kind of nearby as you kind of regroup with Jask, Jask's eyes kind of flare just for a second as he's kind of inspecting this monastery. Not that you wouldn't have expected that, but they shimmer a little bit in a way that you haven't necessarily seen before.
Like, is it like restricting his arcane?
It's not. Jask doesn't indicate that his abilities are being restricted. Almost the opposite. This feels like Jask is a Fey Hound, and it's almost like he is excited to be in proximity to this building. There's something about this place.
Okay.
Do you looking forward to the pie as well? He looks excited. I know I am.
Yep, me too.
Okay, Sarah. So, as you are waiting at the gate, what are you doing, you two?
So I'm trying.
Oh, and also, sorry, Zara, I need you to roll one more check for me. I need you to roll a dexterity stealth check, please.
That's fine. I have advantage. 14 success. 12 success. Fine.
Do you have arcane law?
Actually, I think I do. Actually, let me just double check. I think I added it. Yeah, I do.
So you have to. So Jask is aware, or you are aware that you need to keep Jask low key in the city.
Yeah.
So he's kind of keeping to the side, but for a moment you feel or you sense, certainly from Jask's perspective, that he needs to be hidden, but he seems to be hiding himself, or trying to hide, or trying to avoid being detected more than just the eyes that are wandering from the passers-by. He triggers a bit of a fight or flight, but there's no one looking at him.
If I look up.
Yeah.
Is it
the walls of
like
the
an
walls
eye
of the
on
monastery are. There isn't an eye on a big tower. No, no. But the walls of the monastery do seem to loom.
Okay, I'm trying to observe like a way in other than the main gate.
Okay, you begin to examine Storble as Zara moves off to kind of run a perimeter check. What are you doing?
I'm just looking back, seeing if Ravik's come back here.
Roll an intelligence check, please, Storble.
2. That's a great success.
You performed in this city, like
I
2 weeks ago.
knew I recognised it.
But where you entered was right near the tavern where you stayed, where the big square was with the performance, and it's all coming back to you.
Oh, was the shops around here?
You know where you are. All of it comes back to you immediately. You don't know the entirety of the city, but you any checks that involve you kind of figuring out where things are, you've definitely got with advantage for sure.
That's good. Good, I remembered that.
Absolutely. While all this is going on, though, and you clock this, Storble, you turn to Tennyson and say, Tennyson, there's no Tennyson.
Where is he? Am I on my own at the moment now then, as well?
Sorry?
Am I on my own at the moment?
You are on your own. Jask is kind of... Well, where is Jask, Zaro?
Probably coming with me.
With you. You're on your own, Storble. You're just on your own.
Oh. If only Patrick was here. I would try just to stay to the side then, and just kind of.
You do
Keep a
know
lookout,
where the
wait for
bar
people.
is.
That is a good point. I'll go straight to the bar then. I've got
You-
no money
you-
though. Oh, no!
You just gave all your money to Ravik for the pie.
I'll still go there, and then on the way, can I try and pickpocket someone just to take out like a?
Absolutely. So here's the thing, Storble. To get to the tavern where you were, you immediately start walking west, back the way you came, because you walked past this tavern ages ago. It's way back, almost where you started. Which means Storble and Ravik, please can you both roll passive luck checks?
Yeah, that's a success.
Great success.
You are both walking in the opposite direction. You walk
Bump
past
into
each
each
other
other.
a few paces, and then both stop and realize that you're walking. Ravik, you see Storble wandering on his own, and Storble, you see Ravik has arrived, and he has.
Have you got the pie?
Oh, hey, stop! Why are you coming back?
I know a great tavern this way. I
Wait.
just remembered. I've been here before.
already- Did you catch up with Justin then?
He went into this building,
Right.
and then Zara was looking around it, and then I remembered there was a tavern in the city. So I headed right the way back.
I see. Perhaps we can resolve the situation with Justin first, and we can all go to the tavern together.
Oh, that's a great idea. Drinking's better with friends.
That's right. To tide you over for now. Here's a pie.
Oh, thank you.
I'll pass
I'd-
him one, and
I'd
I'll
also-
pass you 4 florins as well. Good.
Great.
There's your change.
Thank you very much. That's like more than I gave you.
Is it? How much did you give me?
That was for.
All right, okay. Cool. All right, I'll
So
stop.
you have some drinking money, Storble. You have a pie, which,
Oh, that's great.
if you're eating, tastes fantastic.
This is the best
Um,
pie I've ever eaten. Anyway, let's go back to
Storble,
Tristan.
can you roll me, please? This is going to be.
Constitution saving.
I'm gonna run it on perception. But do you have arcane or divine law?
No.
Okay. Just roll a perception check, please.
I rolled an 8, which is a success.
Okay. And this isn't a luck check, but what is your luck?
11.
Okay. You bite into this pie, and instinctively and involuntarily, you feel a muscle response throughout your body, and your eyes become serpentine for a moment and then not. The pie that you have just eaten, and you don't know how you know this, is designed or has been, it's a Razcart recipe. And you don't know how you know that, but as you eat it, again, it's almost like a genetic memory triggers in your mind.
Where did you get this pie, Ravik? It's amazing.
Oh, remember that stall we walked past before? With the fellow who was selling pies?
We
That
need to
was-
go back there again.
From there. All right. Well, in fact, yes, we do. But I'll explain that later.
Okay. I can lead you to Tristan though. Let's go.
Alright.
Let's go there first then.
Yes.
Excellent.
Zylinder's still up on the rooftops.
Ilander's a couple of rooftops ahead of you now, and he's kind of stopped a bit impatiently, I believe, unless Ilander's doing something else. Would you have... Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
I'm
cool.
just looking very grim and broody
that's fantastic.
on the edge of the roof.
Now, here's what's really beautiful, Ilander. There's one more, because you can make it to the monastery, but as you come into proximity to the monastery, your stat from your 3d6 is 9. I need you to roll a check against that stat.
Cool. That's a 17.
Okay. You arrive, and you can see Jask and Zaro have returned from where they were. You can't see Tristan, but you know he entered the main gates that are still open. Storble and Ravik have caught up to Zaro, and for for just a second, Illander, you might have felt it before, actually. There's just a quick pang of dread in your gut, and then it's gone. And you are somewhat obscured on the rooftop. Sorry, go on.
No. So, does it feel like something magical has or divine has just...
It feels like something bad has just... I mean, you failed the check, but you felt bad for a second. You felt bad.
Bit like Althea when she saw me before.
Could be.
Okay.
Did I find another way in?
No, Zara, you didn't. There is one primary gate. It looks to be a monastery fortress.
Right. Well,
The gates are open and people are moving in and out.
why don't we just go in?
Well, we're going to about whole wings over here.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Are
Is
there
it
more
like...
rooftops in this area?
I mean, there are rooftops, but then there's the walls of... I mean, Illander could get atop the walls of the monastery very, very easily, but also very visibly.
So, question: is there
Yeah.
an alleyway that I can drop down?
There's an alleyway you can drop down, yes, but the surrounding walls do not have alleyways next to them. There's quite a broad...
No, it's fine.
walkway. Yeah,
Basically,
but you can get off the roof.
Yeah. So I'm just going to point to the guys what direction I'm going, and then I'll take a dive off
Not a problem.
and wait for them in that alley.
Okay.
Okay, we'll go over to the alley.
Yeah.
Ravik,
While you
Hello?
head to the alley,
any
while you
of
head
those pies?
Oh, yes, sorry, Zara.
Oh,
Yes, I
thank you so much.
give you a pie. I also give you 9 florins change.
Oh, okay.
So while you guys have a pie break, smash cut to Dristan. You have entered the monastery, and you've been here for most of your life, and you are aware that you know everything's the same. And you're wandering around the external gardens which you've been through, and there's a pang in your heart as you realize the last time you were here, you were sparring and training with Adrian. The monk who's led you here has kind of walked out and said, right, well, I mean, if I can leave you here, I've got to get back to my post, but I'm sure you can meet with the counselors and the elders further in.
Yes, I appreciate your help.
No problem. And he begins to walk back. What are you doing?
Leaving?
You're immediately moving to leave. Okay. As you do so, can you roll a perception check, please?
Natural 2.
As you turn, you kind of give it a couple of seconds so that it doesn't, and you begin to turn. You see that the monk who's led you here has walked back to the gates and has leaned in and spoken briefly to the monks who are kind of observing the gates. And the gates have closed. The rest of you, I mean, after having a pie break, notice this as well. You kind of eat the pie, and then suddenly, for no,
Also,
explicable reason, the gates begin to close.
just quickly, I eat
Oh,
half the
Willendorf.
pie.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Right, I was gonna say, I ate half the pie, but then the other half I give to Jask.
Yep. Zero, as you eat this pie, you hear words in your mind in an old tongue that your parents would often use when they didn't want to speak Loagavon. Te queremos mucho, hijo. And then it's gone as you eat half the pie. As you give some of the pie to Jask, you see that shimmer to his eyes return. And then kind of he sits, tongue out, panting quite happily.
I go to Ilinda and say, "Hey, Ilinda, would you like the last pie?"
No, thank you. I assume it has meat in it.
I don't actually know.
I look at it. Does it look like it's got meat in it?
It looks like a pork pie, so you don't actually know what's in it. It looks like a solid mass of crust.
I'll break it. I'll break it in half.
Ilinda, as it's broken in half, can you roll a perception check, please?
Natural 1.
There is
natural 1 on the pie.
There is absolutely a filling in this, for sure. And you kind of smell it. You can't smell any meat. Normally it's pungent. Normally you can smell like, there is, meat and fat and oil in this. But as you you inhale, even though you can't necessarily tell, it's almost like, it's like the consistency of a jam almost. It's some kind of liquid center or pseudo liquid center. But you don't get any of the red flags that come with meat.
Does it seem like it's got meat in for me?
You definitely tasted the spices, and there was a consistency of like a leathery, gritty kind of. Yeah, you would assume there's meat in it.
Is it magic?
The one that you ate.
Yeah. Well, this one specifically. I meant sorry.
So as you smell rabbit, can you roll a perception check, please?
10 success.
No.
No meat.
No. And Ilinda, on a natural 1, as much as you would be suspicious of this, it doesn't give any of the indicators of it being. It is not emanating magic in any way that you can discern.
Oh, Ilinda, you seem to be a fortunate fellow. The last one doesn't have any meat in it.
I shove my face in it. Like, I am so hungry. And then I remember who I am, and I'm like, and I sort of, clean off. Yes, I'm sure this will do. And I'll eat it, like, very sultry, very sort of detached.
See that, Storble? He likes it.
Ilinda,
Pies do to you.
as you kind of really go for it, that initial wave, combined with your quite intense hunger, is very overwhelming. And you hear in your mind, again, almost as though these memories have been stored in your genetics rather than in your actual amygdala or in your brain. So we shall name him Ilinda. No, we shall have the maternal line, Ilinda. And then you realize what you're doing, and you stop.
Are you gonna have the other half as well, Ilinda?
Have to find
Yes.
it for it, rabbit.
I'd almost rip it off. Thank you.
It's not quite as intense as the first kind of way, but you get a similar memory. It's like a deep. This food, you are very familiar with elven food, so that the repressed or stored memory that it triggers doesn't seem to be of, wow, this is the food of my people. Rather, it seems to remind you of aspects of your heritage that you may or may not have been intrinsically aware of, and you are remembering a conversation that you've never heard, or not at least that you've ever consciously or deliberately heard.
Or is it still my mum and dad? Or
You don't actually know who's speaking. You just hear, we'll call him Dahnundur. No, he should be named after the maternal line, Ilinda.
Right, well, what are we going to do about that gate having been closed?
Was there another way in?
No, not that I can see.
Oh, actually, there's something I wanted to share with you guys just before we continue. The pie salesman. He isn't merely a pie salesman, as you can probably imagine.
Everyone has a life outside of their work, you know that, right?
What's that?
Everyone has a life outside of their work, you know?
Ah, yes. Well, I suppose you're right. But what I mean is, he knows who we are. At least he knows
Okay.
who I am. And he also confirmed that the rest of them have already arrived in the city. Your father, my uncle, everyone else. And he made an offer. He will gather us together, and he will safely escort us out of the city, away from Carsten's men, for the small price of 5 crowns.
Well, I mean, I've got 4 of them, so I feel like it's very useful.
I have 4
well.
as well.
Oh, right. Okay.
We can't pay this, but what is...
Wonderful. I suppose that's sorted then. But yes, it does seem like quite a good deal, wouldn't you agree? We don't have to deal with Carsten.
See,
Well, at
but
least.
then we leave Dahnundur to Carsten. We came here to warn people. We came here to bring a solution, not just up and leave.
Well, actually, we came to meet my father, didn't we? and get up north.
Yes, that's right. And there's nothing we can do immediately right here for Dahnundur, is there, Zyro? I mean, the point of... It's the other things that we need to do that will help them. When you, like St. Opal said, we need to track down the what was it? That thing in the Dwarven Mountain.
Quill.
We need to find the quill of a Marthin in the Dwarven Mountains.
That's right. Yes. I suspect that this will do more for the people of Dahnundur than anything we could do right here, right now.
I kind of look at the monastery though and I go, you say there's nothing to do here, but that seems very interesting, that place. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Gives you a weird feeling, you know?
It's the kind of feeling you got when you spoke to Adrian, isn't it? Wouldn't you agree?
I guess so.
A place that, well, he must have spent a long time here. It's always going to be a bit peculiar, isn't it?
You told me that is something different, something... I can't name it. But I don't like it. Jax doesn't like it. There's something about that place. Ugh.
So what are we going to do with that Tristan?
He's inside, amigo. He's, I don't know. The gate's closed. We have to wait.
Should we knock? I'll go knock if you like.
No, stop. Wait.
Well, there are a few things we need to consider. First of all, Tristan is a native to this place.
He's a big boy.
He knows his way around. I'm sure he spent a lot of time here, so if he needs to leave, then I'm sure he can. Secondly, we're all wanted, as we now well know. So, knocking onto the monastery doors, while the very monks within are looking for us, is probably not a good idea.
Didn't think about that.
Yes. Thirdly, your father, Illander, Tech, my uncle, everyone else on the boat, they are here somewhere.
Let's
Whether
go
they're
find
still on their boats or they're hiding somewhere else within this place, we don't know yet, but our friend the pie salesman may well know. So if we all agree that we should accept his offer, then perhaps we could just go back to him now, pay him the money he asked for, and get the information we seek.
But first, I ask, would you, as you can tell, I stand out even more so than yourselves.
Yes.
The reason I dropped down here is if you can go back to the market, grab a robe or something that you think.
Oh, you could pose as a hunchback.
Like, you can see the distaste on his face. He goes, yes, I suppose I could.
As you
Wouldn't
are
that
having
be a
this
sight to see?
You are aware that it is creeping. It's beginning to become night from evening. It is blending into night now. It's not the day. We will smash cut briefly to Tristan. As you turn the doors shut, the others are enjoying their pies. What are you doing, Tristan, while you're inside the monastery walls?
Do I know Adrian's rank?
Yeah, so it's not quite as linear as rank, but he wasn't quite a grand master, but you do know that he was quite high. He was a master, so he's the kind of monk that was offered a position on the High Council, but rejected it so that he could better explore, better interact with what he believed.
He's your Qui-Gon Jinn of the...
He's very much a Qui-Gon Jinn. He's like very almost the closest thing you could get to a grey Jedi druidic monk.
I'm definitely not looking up Qui-Gon Jinn right now.
No worries.
Yeah, definitely not.
Wait, you don't know who Qui-Gon Jinn is?
I know, I just haven't seen the movies in a while.
Tom, you disgust me.
That's fine.
So, you know that he had friends on the council, or he had acquaintances on the council, at least for sure. But he did spend a lot of his time kind of somewhat separate, and you were kept away from a lot of the more synergetic activities from the monks with the monks. So, you know where he would spend his time. And you have had fleeting interactions, and of course you know that there is the law keeper, who is the equivalent of the Grand Master. He kind of fulfills the role of the leader. So you roll, but otherwise you're not massively familiar with a lot of the other masters or novices. You were kept somewhat separate for some reason.
Okay. Would Adrian have had his own room?
He would have had a quarters, yeah. He had a quarters.
I would like to make my way there.
Excellent. As you're making your way there, can you roll me a perception check, please?
It's a 17. That's a fail.
Okay.
Can I use a reroll?
Do you have detection?
Yes.
You may use a reroll die.
That's a 7. That's a pass.
Okay. As you head up the steps to kind of enter the monastery building proper, heading towards kind of the quarters and the council chambers, there's a walkway that you have to access to get up. And you turn your head kind of briefly to one of the areas that you knew Adrian would spend a lot of his time. And you look back, and then you take a double take. The grass was... No, it is. No, it wasn't. You're pretty sure you just saw a patch of purple grass within the monastery.
What?
And you kind of look back, and it's No, you've sparred in this area. You've been in these gardens. The outside, the external part, you've been in a lot. No, there's a patch of, and the trees almost flicker for a second as well, with color, and then
I want to go investigate that.
you kind of stop dead and you begin to descend. As you begin to descend, can you roll one more perception check for me, please?
That one.
All the monks that are kind of at various points, kind of not that monks are wearing armor, but the guard monks, the monks that are kind of, it's a martial order as well as a pacifistic one. It's a bit of a weird blend. You see a few monks exchanging looks as you suddenly change direction. But that's all.
Whoops.
And you begin heading towards what you perceive to be purple grass. And that's what you're doing. The rest of you, you are still outside the monastery walls. So Tristan, you're heading to the purple grass. What are the rest of you doing?
Going to the market, trying to get try and rush to it where it closes. Try and get
Was the pie salesman in like a market area?
He seemed to just be on a street corner.
Right. So we've not actually been to the market
Not
yet.
actually been to a market.
I do remember where a market is, though.
You are pretty sure there's a riverfront market a little way north of you. In fact, you performed there last time you were here.
Did. A great tale of us getting drunk and then missing our boat.
If I give Ravik a florin,
Yep.
Do you think you can get a decent looking coat for that? Yes.
Well, does Ilander think it's not going to be a decent looking cloak, but it will be
What about 2 florins?
That would be much more serviceable.
2 florins it is. I'm paying for style.
Fantastic.
I'll take the coin. The coins. Lead the way, Storble. Are you going to wait here, Ilander, or do you want to follow in a similar manner as before?
It's okay. Me and Dahnundur can wait here.
Okay.
Okay. So, sorry, who exactly is going to the market? Storble and...
It's myself and
me and
Storble.
Fantastic. That's okay. It's not actually massively far. So, Storble, you kind of lead the way. It only takes a few minutes for you to kind of... if you're hustling. But yeah, you do find a few vendors. Most of the places are closing up, but there seems to be 1 or 2 street vendors that are still not, still open, still kind of. It doesn't look to be shops where you are. It looks to be kind of like a village square market, but a city square.
Can I look
take a
around
look.
for?
Yeah, Storble, please roll a perception check.
It's on my perception.
Fantastic. There is absolutely one stall that you kind of immediately clock, and you go, yes, there are cloaks.
Oh, right
Smart,
there, Ravik.
Storble. Brilliant. Let's head over.
As you head over, you can immediately see that the clothing has been separated into kind of different sections, into kind of summer and winter, different, types of clothes. So there's kind of a normal, this is a desert area, kind of the standard light clothing robes that you would wear. Then it does seem to be a very limited selection of winter clothing, perhaps for expeditions or people who are going to the sea. And then there's a much, much smaller pile. It's not really a pile, it's just a few items of clothing that seem to be nicer.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll start browsing through, and I'm looking for a cloak that's significantly bigger than Ilander. Like, it would be super baggy on it. I'm not paying too much attention to how nice or flashy it is, but that's the main thing I'm looking for. Maybe a cloak with like those cloaks which have like shawls attached to them. and hoods. I don't know if you know what I mean, but something like that maybe.
Kind of like a really massive back. So it's not too hard for you to find it. It's almost. We're almost talking about a burqa.
Okay. Yeah.
This is the scope of the cloak that you have found is absolutely going to cover. Like, this will cover Dahnundur and then some. Absolutely.
Wonderful.
And very, very easily you.
What does it look like?
It is. It's kind of like a red clay kind of color.
Ooh.
And it's
terracotta.
Like terracotta. Yeah. It looks to be looks to be dyed, maybe like a wool kind of. It could be quite warm, and it's being sold cheap because no one wants to buy a massive woolen cloak in the middle of a desert city.
Does it have like a trim or anything? Like, is it nice or is it functional?
It's much more functional than it is nice.
All right.
It has a seam to kind of hold the thing together, but I wouldn't call it a trim.
Okay. Are there any nice ones that would serve a similar purpose, or does this look like the only one that would work quite as well? This
is like a large, long cloak. As you kind of examine the other, there's a short style, like a stylistic kind of over the one shoulder and kind of half cape stuff. Nothing. No. But the one that's like a half cape looks exquisite, silk.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll catch the attention of the trader.
Yeah, well, as you've kind of been looking, you've kind of been observed by this kind of older woman looking at you. Oh, hello there.
Greetings.
Hello. He kind of switches into the dialectic Agavon that the people of the Sebric people speak. What can I do for you?
Well, I was looking at this this cloak here. Point to the terracotta one.
Fine colour.
Indeed. Why do you even hold such an item in such a hot place?
I
curious.
hold such an item. It's definitely for when you need to. Some people travel north to where it's colder and they want to, buy things to prepare themselves with. And nothing helps you blend in with the expedition better than it's a fine piece of clothing.
Indeed. Sorry, my curiosity getting the better of me. This other one, I point to the nice one.
Oh, yes. Fine piece of workmanship there from the northeast. It's a very exotic piece that you have. She looks at a couple of items of clothing before settling on the one that you've indicated. This one comes from the island city of Faozheng, about as far away from here as you can get, and you can see it's got this exotic Asiatic kind of Sino-Japanese patterning to it. It looks exquisite.
I want it.
Lovely. So, how much would we be talking for these individual items?
Oh well, this fine tent cloak is I can do you for 13 pennies.
All right. How about the cloak?
This cloak, the fine, that would be 6 florins.
Oh, I see. I'll take the cloak. Thank you very much.
As you say, you'll take the cloak. She's got 2 cloaks.
The one that looks more like an actual cloak rather than a fancy scarf.
Oh, okay. Oh, no problem. Yes, of course. That's 13 pence. And if you hand over,
I'll hand over.
Sure. Do you do inscriptions as well?
An inscription? Do you mean an embroidering? Love?
That's the one. Yes.
It's very hard to inscript cloth.
Oh. Can you put my name on it somewhere?
Well, what do you want on this? The one I'm selling your friend.
On the red one, yeah.
You want your name on it?
Yes.
That's fine by me. Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
so we don't lose it. They know exactly whose it is.
Right, yeah, no problem. I mean, if you give me a few minutes, I can stitch something into it. What is your name?
Patek.
Patek. Oh, okay, and how do you spell that?
P A double T O C K maybe. I
No,
can't
no,
actually
no,
remember.
no, no. It's PILLOCK.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, well, I'll try and figure it out. Okay. If you're going to get an inscription, an embroidering, then that'll end up costing you round it up to $1, and I can get that done for you in the next. I'll do it right now.
I'll hand over a shilling.
So
Can it be in a really weird spot as well?
Are you asking her to put it in a really weird spot?
Yes, please.
What do you consider weird?
Somewhere that you wouldn't expect it to be.
Right in the groin. No.
So she moves
Of a
a bunch of
cloak.
clothing. She moves a bunch of clothing.
It's a long cloak.
And she spreads it out, and you can see this large cloak now. And right in the middle of the outside of the cloak, she writes upside down the word Patek.
Whose spelling did she use?
She listened to both of what you said and ignored you promptly to get what she believed would be the correct spelling.
I could design one now. We could sell that for more.
So
Ooh.
yeah, so Katopak, Kakotap is what it looks like because it's upside down. Is how she's done it as to respond to your request. In a bright kind of verdant green to contrast with the terracotta in large
Perfect.
letters. Excellent.
Alright.
And she did okay.
Brilliant.
It's fine work. Thank you,
And
madam.
it's taken about 5 minutes. She's worked very quickly and deftly. She's been doing this a long time. You paid her well for it. You now have a large Patek cloak.
That concludes our business here. Let's go.
Well, have a good evening, gentlemen. And as soon as you leave, you see she's rapidly putting everything away. She's like, I've got to move. This is not what's going on in this city. It's going heel in a handbasket. And you return. Juristan, as this time is being made up, you're heading to this. You find yourself in one of Adrian's preferred meditation spots. And you look around and everything seems to be normal now that you've arrived. What would you like to do?
Is the purple grass still there?
Everything seems to be normal. Seems to be green with normal trees.
Okay, I'm gonna try sit the way that Adrian would have done, to sit and meditate. And where is it? And then I'm gonna use an ability.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna use Spirited Away.
Okay. What does this do specifically?
Pushing out your key, you whisper away your mortal form, merging with the spirit world. You become incorporeal for a number of rounds equal to your willpower modifier. In this form, you may not attack, and you must end the duration in an open area. If ended inside an object, you must roll on injury and set back, and are pushed to the nearest exit upon reverting your form.
Darn you for taking that ability. I'll come back to you, Tom. I'll come back to you, Tristan. Storble and Ravik, you arrive back at the group. You have this large cloak. You're muted, Ravik.
Sorry, I folded it up into just a bundle, and I hand it over to Illinder along with his change of 1 florin and 19 shillings. Looks like you can get quite fine garments for quite a cheap price in this city.
This one's designer.
That's right.
And they really didn't have anything better.
Well, perhaps they did, but it was far out of the price range you provided for me, so I got the best thing I could. Functional.
Fair enough. It'll serve purpose, and then I'll put it on.
And you grimace as you do so, Illinder. This is the cheapest item of clothing you've ever touched, let alone worn.
Yep.
and as you put it on, you can see the Kotopap. The rest of you can see Kokotap written a bit backwards and upside down on the back of the cloak. Illinder, it does seem to have the girth and size to cover your wings. It does. Roll a charisma check, Illinder.
Oh my days. I don't believe it. That's a success. It's my lowest stat.
It doesn't look comfortable. It looks like you're wearing a backpack under your cloak, but it doesn't look abnormal. Yeah. It just looks like, why would you wear a whatever? It looks out of the ordinary, but not menacing.
Yeah, bizarre, yeah. 100%.
Absolutely. Zaro, it's around this time as they return that you are aware of Jask. He suddenly stops, his eyes shimmer, sharp intake of breath, and he stands bolt upright, tail flat out, looking directly at the monastery. And you follow his eyes, and for the briefest of seconds, it's almost like the pre-flash of lightning has emanated from the grounds, but you're not sure if it actually happened or if you just saw it, or even if Jask was conveying information to you.
Okay, I would just keep my eyes on the monastery. It's like, what is going on?
Okay. You keep your eye on the monastery. The gates remain closed. You are observing.
Let me see.
No sign of Justin, then I take it. Alright, well, in that case, should we perhaps go see the pie seller?
Is the gate like a solid gate, or can you see through it?
It's a large, it's almost like a bronze gate. It's kind of got that golden sheen to it.
Okay.
What does everyone think then?
Oh.
Sorry, I'm completely lost. Where are we?
We need a location to wait, low key, on a site, maybe a tavern.
Yes, and we should meet with this pie seller as well once more.
See,
Are we in agreement that we should take his deal, or does anyone have an objection?
I mean, I'm sure we could probably find him ourselves, but I guess it saves time.
Well, if Zara is willing to put forth 2 of the crowns, I can put forth 3. I can put forth all 4 if you wish.
It's okay. I'm just thinking, we're not stupid, we probably find them ourselves, But use some guy.
Well, it's not just the finding of them; it's also the fact that he will get us out of the city safely, past Karsten, and the many scorn that are occupying this place. Well, outside the city, anyway.
Gets us out and on our way to Caramiel. Yes?
Besides, he did also mention that the dock is locked down, inaccessible. So I'm sure he has a way of getting around that perhaps we may not.
think it's worth a go.
Ultimately, in my experience, it's always better to just pay. Makes life much easier.
I'm sure we can get further information if we go meet him.
Okay, we'll do things your way this time. I'll put 2 crowns.
Well, why don't we talk to him first, then see what you think.
Good idea.
And what, just leave just in here?
He knows his city. He can probably find us somewhere.
GM, is the alleyway that me and Tristan were in last time, is that nearby here?
It's the other side of the river. You're on the south side.
Wrong side, yeah.
You were on the north side of the river, and the docks that you were in before. You know that the docks, because there are bridges in the city, most of the larger vessels have to bunch up on the western side before they hit the bridges.
Okay.
So you need to go up. You need to cross the river and head west, if they're in a similar place to where they were last time you were here.
Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, I guess we should just head to the Pie Man then.
The tavern is straight west of you.
You've been here before, Storble.
Yes.
Does the name Gurk Garzak ring any bells with you?
Not that I know of. I mean, if I knew that he made pies like that, I wish I'd known him before.
Alright, well, let's go talk to him then.
I will give you one more thing, please, Storber. Can you roll a willpower check, please?
That's a 16. It's a success.
You are also aware, and it kind of comes to you for a moment, and it's something that you've kind of, all of you have been contesting with a little bit, and maybe it was the pie that kind of jogged your memory a little bit, perhaps. But it throws you for a second, because you realize, thinking of pie, thinking of tavern, thinking of this, all these things, you're aware that it was the Black Cask that you were in the city of Dahnundur.
Yep. The Black Cask, the tavern. It was a nice tavern as well.
The Black Cask?
Yeah, it's where we it's where I got the coin. It's me and Patrick stayed there.
Oh, okay.
Just west of here it was.
Right. And Storble, do you remember the name of the tavern back in West Point?
I haven't got a clue. What
That
was
tracks.
it?
That
I
tracks.
kind of look at Ravik like, should we go?
Yes, we've lingered far too long. Let's go.
I was meaning to the Black Cask.
Oh, to the Black Cask?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yes, perhaps that could be our second stop.
Okay. Illander, are you doing anything in particular while the others prepare to leave?
I suppose I'm just checking round for anybody that seems like they're looking at us, or basically that thing on the roof really made me feel a bit perturbed. And at this point, everything I'm doing is checking, like, you know,
Can you roll me? Can you roll
sort of
me?
a paranoid person.
Just roll me a perception check, please. Yeah.
That is a success.
Fantastic. Just a regular success, not a great success.
Yeah, it's a 12.
So you're uneasy. You can't make out any individual. You're keeping an eye on the battlement walls. You're keeping an eye on the alleyways. You're keeping an eye on the streets. No one is obviously observing you that you can see. But you do have you've got a niggling in the back of your mind that you seem to be on a time limit that something or someone has set. You
I get the
feel an
niggling
urge.
sensation that something's out there.
Something's imminent. You feel a desire to move with haste.
And we haven't gone to that cellar yet.
You haven't gone back to the cellar, no.
I think, guys, we should really go to the cellar.
Yeah.
Like
Let's
now.
go. All right.
So you're all heading to Garzak, yeah?
Sure.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, they can go to the thing if they want.
Right, that's what I'm asking. Who is going where?
I think we should all go here, as this is a decision that affects all of us.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be able to go to the tavern on my own because they wouldn't know how to get there.
Okay, so everyone's heading back to Gurk. Fantastic. Tristan, while this discussion is being played out, you push your key out of your form, and this is actually a mild or a standard application, one of the weaker applications of Aether, which is a combination of the 4 primary elements when used in tandem, which is where ethereal comes from. And you turn around, you see that your form is sitting on the ground. You are watching yourself sit and think in a way that you would imagine Adrian would have observed you in times past. And you turn, and the environment that you are in has shifted somewhat dramatically. The grass is indeed purple. The trees are different colors. There are reds, there are purples, there are greens, there are blues. And you can see that in front of you, there is a large tree, but it is only the stump. And facing away from you, there is a figure kind of facing away, moving a little bit. Kind of, you can see from the motion, they're almost kicking their legs back and forth, kind of sitting. They're far too, this is a huge tree stump. They're not taking up the whole stump. They're just sitting on the edge of it, just kind of happily, contentedly sitting.
I call out. Hello there.
Figure kind of stops for a second. And, oh. Hello?
Can you not see me?
He's facing the other way. He hasn't turned. He's heard a voice and is...
Okay, we'll ground. What is this
Come in.
place?
Oh. Well, it's quite relaxing. I like coming here.
DY, it's very beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's also very special.
Oh,
It's
really?
soft. It's a soft place.
How do you mean soft?
Well, it's a place where people like me talk to people like you.
Who are you?
Oh. I'm a friend of this place. I like visiting here. And as you kind of round the stump, he kind of looks at you. You're Adrian's friend, student.
Yes.
Oh, I haven't seen Adrian in a little while.
Yeah, he's probably not coming back to visit.
Oh. Well, that's a shame. Is he okay?
He's gone.
Oh. He kind of frowns a little bit. That's it's a shame. Where did he go?
Hopefully somewhere as peaceful as this.
It's very beautiful. But it's not peaceful that makes it beautiful. It's a soft place. And I like spending time here with Adrian. But he also liked to visit the other places.
Other places such as this.
Well, this is your place. Sometimes he'd like to visit my place.
Where is your place?
Well, it's a lot hotter. It's full of flames and fire, but that's okay. It's a good heat. It's a dry heat. Doesn't hurt. You seem a little bit young to be, hearing these kinds of things, but that's okay. He liked to refer to my place as a bit chaotic, Every time he'd visit, say absolute chaos. I'm going to absolute chaos, he would say. And I think he knew he might not be visiting me again. Because he left me something that I can't really use anymore.
Really? What is it?
Well, it's something from your place and not my place. Although, I guess it was my place. This tree. It looks like it's been cut down to you. But it's not really that simple. If you want to... It's still standing in some places. It's quite tall. It's quite difficult to get past, really. Like it's blocked. You see it as cut down because, maybe you understand it a little bit better. But in your place, it still needs to be cut down.
So you're ahead in time?
Sorry?
You're ahead in time?
No. Well, no. I'm more sideways. And the figure, as you kind of finish, you're kind of having this conversation very slowly approaching. You can see this figure, as you can see him sitting on the stump, and you round the large stump to fully see him. He's about the size of a child.
Where is your place?
I don't think you'd be able to get there. Adrian could. Not many could. Maybe when you're a bit bigger. Or maybe a bit older. But you don't want to open it. You don't want to cut down the tree on your own. I think that's a bad idea.
What does this mean? What tree? Like a...
yeah, it's a little bit confusing, so I'm sorry about that, but it's, hopefully it'll get a little bit clearer. But I'll leave you what Adrian left me, and when you're ready, you can come back and cut down the tree.
Oh. Okay.
That would be good, I think.
What was your name?
Oh, I don't really go by names much anymore. It's all symbols now.
What did Adrian used to call you?
Well, he called me his little firebird. The tone of this figure becomes somewhat more serious for a moment. But you are going to need more help where you're going as well, before you come back to cut down the tree. I can tell you've probably already met St. Obel.
Yeah.
He's quite solid. But he's not really available at the moment because of the trees. But we can get you help. When you go to Karamiel, you want to look for St. Olden.
Okay.
He'll help you out. I mean, he should still be near Karamiel. That's where he was before. Well, and then he wasn't. But I think he'll be back.
Are you one of the Guardians of the Coast? Like Saint Obel?
Guardians of the Coast. Am I like Saint Obel? I'm not like Saint Obel. Not really. In some ways, no. Maybe. He's a good friend though. Anyway, you gotta get to your friends now. It's important. You gotta look after your friends. Especially Storble. You gotta look after Storble. And you watch as this figure, and the reality you begin to return to your mortal coil. It kind of evaporates into flame. And you are sitting back where you were. And there is a small, ornately crafted, purple painted hand axe in your arms.
Okay. Let me just put that in my backpack.
Okay. You have a purple hand axe.
Kind of chuckle to myself. Guess this is what I'm going to use to cut down the tree. Whatever that means. Yeah, I'm going to try and make my way back to Adrian's room. Still got an idea there.
Okay. As you head through, that's not too much of a problem. You can get into the monastery quite easily. What is it you'd like to do?
Well, am I in his room?
You can get to his room relatively easily. Just roll a d20 for me, please.
13.
Yeah, that's fine. You know the place quite well. You're quite dexterous. You're quite stealthy. That's not a problem. You can move around unnoticed if you want. That's not too tricky for you.
Okay. Well, if I'm in his room then, I want to... I've got a coin that Adrian dropped. It's not one of the tokens, and it didn't seem to be a regular florin. I want to see if that's like a key to a secret apartment in his room or something.
Okay. Can you roll a D100, please?
I go no.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You got no.
I go no. You're like, this is not what the key is supposed to do. It's not. Oh. Nah.
As you enter the room and you take out the coin, it feels warm to the touch. And it does feel attracted. It feels as though it pulls you towards a certain wall of the room.
Can I inspect the wall?
Yep, you head over to the wall and it hooks itself and then seems to sink into the wall. As this small section seems to part open into like a hidden dresser. And within this hidden dresser, there seems to be a large amount of information, documents, and images, all linked to what is basically a thread map of the Owlbear Enclave, the original Owlbear Enclave. You see, in crude drawing, the same map that you saw in the Citadel, but it's like a hand-drawn version of the map. And you can see a marker in the Automiles, you can see a marker on the location of the Owlbear Enclave, and you can see a marker on the Citadel in the same way that with the three markers there. You can see a similar black line and black shaded, like graphite shadings on the lower third of the map. And it's got notes already lost, already corrupted.
The lower third?
The lower third of the map. So like when you were in the Citadel and the lower third was basically, it's annotated, the penumbra operates freely here, there's no resistance.
Right.
There's an image of St. Obel, or a variety of images collected, kind of all that are all tagged to St. Obel, which match the figure. And there's a little note, last seen in the Automiles about 20 years ago.
Is there like a drawing of the old Owlbear Enclave?
Well, like a group photo?
Yeah.
No. There are notes. So St. Obel is quite well documented. The Hudson family tree, the Hudson family is mentioned, is documented there. And then you do see another little title that says St. Olden. And there's a few question marks with notes basically indicating that Adrian wasn't fully sure as to what the deal is with St. Olden. It says that the Phoenix mentioned him once, but there's very little information other than a single black circle that seems to be. That's like the only thing. There's like it's like an entire piece of parchment has been dedicated just having a black circle on it. As you're looking through this information, you do begin to hear footsteps, heavy, approaching or moving down the corridor outside where you are.
I want to close everything back up and take the coin back.
As you close it, everything goes. The coin kind of shimmers out, and you are again holding the coin. Your DDM has increased by 1.
Great.
Okay. Are the footsteps coming towards the room?
It sounds like they're getting louder.
Okay. I go over to the bed or whatever I assume he has.
Yep.
And I just face my hands with the hat down, shaking.
Okay. The door bursts open. Several monks walk in, and you are grabbed by the arms, and you are being pulled down the corridor by monks. We smash cut to the rest of the party, who are heading towards the pie vendor. Best guy. Fantastic. All right. As you are heading in his direction, Ravik, you're taking the lead, right? Okay. So I'm going to need you to roll the perception check, please.
All right. So 10 success.
Okay. You reach the vendor's stall where it was. There's no one there.
Yeah. All right.
The pie break sign says pies. It doesn't say pie break.
Oh. Can I walk to where the table and chairs were?
Yeah. One
Is
of them
there
is
any
sideways on the ground.
Oh. Zaro,
Yes.
can you check for signs of... Well, I don't know. He was here when I left, and he's no longer here. Chair on the floor. Seems like something might have happened.
Where
Can
it
you or
looks-
Jask check that?
It looks like something was disturbed here. Easy, come. Me and Jess will start finding out where he went.
Okay. First, I need Jess to roll a perception check, please.
He has would detection help or not?
Yeah, detection will help.
Okay. What a 6, great success.
Great success.
Yeah.
I now need him to roll a luck constitution save, please.
What constitution? Oof. What's this one? Oof. Okay. Oops, sorry. Natural 1. Yes.
And I rolled 1s on all the damage dice. So Jess takes 1 hit point of damage.
1.
As something interacts with his tracking. Whatever's here, he immediately identifies something's happened, but there seems to be a residue that Jask is particularly vulnerable to. And as he sniffs, he kind of sneezes and gets something out of his throat. But he does indicate west.
Guess what else was west?
Alright, Zaro, you lead the way, friend.
Let's go.
Okay.
Storble, this place you mentioned, Black Cast.
Ah, the tavern. Yes. Are we going there now?
Bet son, it's probably back to there.
They do some really good drink there.
And as you head west, it doesn't take you too long. And indeed, Storble, you are becoming very quickly aware that Jask seems to be leading you to a drinking house. This is your favorite dog. He's bringing you to the place you want
He's
to
a
be.
good boy.
And as you approach the tavern, it is indeed named the Black Cask.
Okay. Here's what we do. That note says to bring us back to the Black Cask, right? From the
Yes.
monk. Okay. We need a
Should we
plan.
really be going in here? It's
Well,
kind of hard to miss us.
see.
Are we walking right into, well, a trap? The people who sent out Carson himself, or his lackeys, the
Oh.
penumbra.
I was thinking, myself and Elindor take the roof, and you two maybe find a back door. Try and go in that way.
Right. Yeah, we could do that.
Let's do it. Stealth mode.
I feel like some traps are better sprung, and he immediately starts walking to the front door.
I immediately get into the roof.
Okay. So just so I'm clear, Illinder, you're entering from the front.
Yep.
Who else is going where?
In that case, I'll go with you, Zara. I'm
I'll
still
go
in
with
Tiger form.
Belinda.
So we'll go in.
So Zara, are you approaching from the roof or from the back?
Roof.
Roof. Okay.
Jask is with Storball and Ravik.
That's not a problem, Zara. As you climb to the roof, there is no skylight. This is not the same building that was in. There is no skylight.
No escape.
There is no trapdoor. There is no skylight.
Looks like back entrance
Back
it
entrance
is.
then.
Okay, back entrance. Cool. Okay. And you just walk straight in?
I'm trying to be stealthy.
Yeah, I will as
cloak
well.
on, but bow drawn just in case. But yeah,
Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to be stealthy, but in a different way. I'm trying to blend in.
Mr. Hunchback.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's going to go horribly, which is wonderful news. I love it going horribly wrong.
Fantastic. So, as you enter, we will switch. The first thing that you all see is the body that Ravik you recognize as Gurk, splayed on the floor, bleeding, unconscious if not dead. The second thing you all clock is Tennyson, chained to the wall, with several bloody gashes across his head. He's not wearing any armor. And Horatio, with an artificial, mechanical artificer's jaw, along with several mechanical parts, standing over this injured figure.
by the way, Storball and Ravik should change places.
Is it Storblin? Yeah, okay, sorry, that's true. Yeah.
Immediately, I want to cast magic sword.
Okay. As you enter, and you were aware of it, roll me an initiative check, Illinder, just to see if we can get there in time.
Natural 3.
Natural 3. Immediately, you've cast the spell. So, as you enter, however, Horatio turns to look at you, Illinder. You cast the spell. That's fine. It is active. Well, it is about time you come for the one that seems to at least be pretending to be your friend. And he looks at you. And you have a toothpick now. Excellent.
Sorry, do I know you?
Illinder. Always the smartest, ignorant person in the world. I do suppose that he kind of steps down. I do suppose that Ravik would have more reason for remembering me. as it was him that I trounced in our academic prospectus. I'm sorry about your lack of patronage, Ravik. Maybe you should have just been good at things.
Well, I'm sorry about your jaw, Greystock.
That's okay. I hear the person who gave me this augmentation has met his fiery demise.
Who's that?
Adrian.
Adrian!
Adrian. Yes, well, shall we dispense with the pleasantries then? And immediately, I'm going to try and cast Fireball on.
Fantastic. Okay, in that case, if you're going to immediately initiate combat, we get to initiate combat. So, please, everyone roll initiative.
4. Great success.
Okay, yeah, so we'll go with the great successes first.
5, great success.
Okay.
Just a normal success.
Okay.
6, great success.
Fantastic. So, great successes, please. You may. What would you like to do, Illinder? You're starting with the fireball, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I activate Dark Blade, Start ability.
Okay. All right. So, Illinder, where are you? So you're just firing a fireball at Horatio.
I'm not centering it on him because then it will hit Tennyson. I want to hit him, but not hit. I want it like Tennyson to be on the outskirts of it. Does that make sense? So it doesn't hit Tennyson.
Okay.
Yeah, if I hit there.
Right, but so this is quite spurred. Okay. Because you're doing this with no time to spare, and this is the most advanced spell that you can throw.
Yeah.
I'm going to need So first, I'm going to need you to roll a straight intelligence check to get it prepped.
Natural 1.
Fantastic. Now I need a straight luck check. This is a hard luck check.
Natural 5.
Fantastic. Your luck is reduced by 1. You have used both of your elven points. And what level are you? So that is a 3d6 fireball.
Do you want me to roll DDM as well?
I do want you to roll DDM, yes, please. Thank you so much.
Because my DTM is currently 2. And that's a 1.
Are you serious?
Brilliant. Love it.
Oh no.
Isn't this the second time you've triggered DDM with a really low DDM score?
Yeah.
You'll just get wings again. Fantastic. Oh no. Illinder.
Uh-huh.
So, in any other environment, DDM would be, bad news.
Standard.
Yeah, standard. Okay, I've got good news and bad news because you have done something quite interesting. Tristan, you are being pulled down a corridor, and you not you, Horatio. Tristan, you're being pulled down a corridor. Your arms, you were trying to fake crying. They were having none of it. You were in the middle of being arrested or tortured. You don't even know, but you're being dragged down. You suddenly fall through reality and land at the feet of Illinder. You have no idea what's just happened. Illinder, at that moment, as you cast the spell, dark energy erupts from your hands, but instead of fireballing, it seems to expand out. Your ears pop. Something has changed. You have triggered something. Rather than casting the spell, it was too much. It was too unstable. You were going to the edge of your abilities, and what you have used has been rendered in a different way. Actually, all of your ears pop.
Interesting.
Do you think he switched out Tristan for a fireball?
Wait, so does that mean the monks just got fireball?
I would love that. I would love that so much.
I mean, I would kind of hate it, to be honest. Still, that was very good.
Well, on a natural 1 on your intelligence check, you definitely cast fireball. That's what you definitely cast, but something else has happened. And as everyone looks around, Illander, you haven't fired a fireball. And Dristan is now on his knees in front of you. Dristan, can you roll initiative, please?
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Interesting.
Illander, your luck is reduced by 1, and your DDM resets, I believe, to 0?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a 3. That's a great success. Can I cast
Okay.
Fireball?
Sorry?
Can I cast Fireball?
Can you cast fireball?
No, I'm expecting. Are there torches again?
Oh, okay.
Tries to cast Fireball.
Oh, that's a good point, actually. That's a good point.
Oh, can I move still?
You may, yes.
I want to run right up to Horatio then. And I want to, like, completely undo everything that we've just spent time doing, and my wings unfurl. And I look at him like an angel of death.
He looks at you and he looks around. Well, that is certainly interesting, Illander. But I fear you may have just done something you will very much be regretting. And where is he going to go? Actually, he's going to roll a check. He's going to fail that check. He's going to fail that check. He's going to fail that check. He's going to roll a natural 20. I need everyone except for Illander and Dristan to roll a d20, please. And this is basically a passive luck check.
4. Great, a success.
Okay.
11 success.
Okay.
6 success.
Okay. Horatio looks at you, Illander, and he then starts looking at his hand. And it seems to be looking somewhat translucent. I need someone to roll for Tennyson, please. Storble, can you roll me a d20 for Tennyson?
12.
A 12.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me just half a second, Dino. That is a failure. Zaro, can you please roll for Jask? Soft luck check.
4. This is fine.
Okay.
Oh, no.
They fade out. They literally, as you look at these all the figures in the room that have just disappeared, have literally, in the same way Dristan is now here, they are now not.
What just happened?
Immediately, I'm like thinking across any spell I could know or any reason that could happen.
Can you roll me? I need an intelligence check. Give me a great success. It's arcane law.
Oh, good. Okay.
Can I try as well?
I can give you. It's a 5, which is a great success.
What you have done is, and you can see, so Dristan's here and wasn't here. The fireball isn't here and was here. You have triggered some kind of innate, very, very powerful transportation invocation.
We triggered it. I triggered it.
You inadvertently triggered, and the way it worked, and on a great success, you interacted directly with something that's to do with this tavern. And some things are now here and some things are now not. But you feel it might be more than that.
Oh, okay.
And you are very aware of this. The feeling of dread that you had is simultaneously gone, but now also amplified. Something big has just happened.
What just happened, Illander? What did you do?
Well, I didn't do anything. But I realize what's happened now. You remember that when we came to this place in the city, it was... What was it called? Hang on. It's called the Black Cask. But it was also called the Cocoa Wraith. Yes?
No, it was called the Cocoa Stallion.
Cocoa Stallion,
Cocoa
that's the
Stallion,
one.
Yeah.
Cocoa Wraith was a horse that was owned by a very
Elendor, your
special
Bruno
person.
is showing.
The Cocoa Stallion. I've genuinely got the Cocoa Wraith crossed out stallion. The Cocoa Stallion. Yes?
Yes.
So this tavern that we are currently in obviously has some kind of portable ability that it can transfer itself into different cities.
So why did Tristan appear? He obviously wasn't in the Cocoa Stallion.
Oh, that was my fault.
Well, it happened at the same time, so wasn't it all your fault?
No, because that happened and then I ran towards him and then he went.
Well, I am grateful, Elendor, because I was getting arrested at that moment.
What?
Fortunate
What?
timing.
That wasn't expected, but what happened there? And as like he's explained himself, I'm walking around like knocking on wood, looking at things, like walk over to the pumps, pull them a little bit, like looking for anything magical or any way that.
Well, here's the thing that the construct that you're in, it's the same tavern that it was. You seemed to interact with it by going beyond what was physically involved with this tavern. You don't think it's a physical switch. You think that you've tapped into something, and especially
Like
the
the
fact
network
that you
behind it.
were using shadow. Well, you were using a variant of shadow magic to do it.
Yeah,
Because you didn't cast a fireball. You casted an obsidian ball of black death, which is not quite the same thing.
Dark light. Oh,
Well, yeah. Zaro, actually, can you please roll me an intelligence arcane law check?
Oh, natural 2.
You feel like it's a very weird sensation because you can tap into shadows as well.
Yeah.
The easiest way I can explain it is you have to tap. You can like summon an arrow, and then you have to and then you have to get the arrow from where you are, from where it is to where you are, and you can interact with the same arrow. It feels like what's just happened has given you a full quiver of arrows. That's the sensation. It's like something has really tapped into it. And at the same time, where you are familiar with the idea of shadow portation with you feel like you have just moved through, you have just done some serious shadow tunneling.
Be right back, guys. I got outside.
Yeah, good point. Exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, no.
Okay. You're going outside.
If they're going outside, I want to like keep the door open because I don't want to. I don't know. Keep the door open.
Well, the first thing I'm going to need then, because here's the thing. First, Tristan rolls a 0-0-0, and then Elendor rolls a 1.
Does the closet come with me?
So I need... oh, man. First of all, I need a D3. I think this is going to be from Elendor. I need a D3. And we want high.
Oh no. I know what that means.
That's a good thing, because I got a 5, which turns into a 3.
Okay, that's
Thank
good.
goodness.
As you open the doors, Ravik, you become immediately aware that you are not in the Autumn Isles. Elendor, I need a D2, please.
2.
Okay. Another D2, please.
We're not gonna be a down
2.
under.
2.
Yeah,
Okay.
2.
This is the last one. I need a D2, please.
2.
You open the door, and a searing, blustering, sandy, hot wind rushes in to the tavern. And the sun is, well, it's still nighttime, but it's hot. Hotter than it was in Dahnundur.
Do we recognize what's outside? What do we see?
Sand and palm trees.
We're not in a city anymore.
What you can see from when you open the door is sand and palm trees.
Let's take a step out.
What did you do with
I really don't know. Whatever
and until
happened?
you rolled those D2s, I didn't know either. But I know where you are.
I must say it's refreshing hearing that from you, but at the same time also terrifying.
Well, yes, I'm quite terrified. It's the first time I've been completely clueless in my life.
How
Well,
does
that's
it get back?
debatable.
So you're still within the tavern. The door is open on the front door you opened, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sand and palm trees. Yeah, sand and palm trees.
What about the big door?
If you
Yeah,
leave
well-
the doors open, I'll take a look. Either outside. And I step outside.
Keep the door open. Keep the door open.
You step outside. Okay. It's still nighttime. It's searingly hot. And the tavern behind you, the Black Cask, is externally decrepit, worn stone building. What you are looking into is a fully fleshed out tavern. The outside has holes in the roofs and is worn down and is sun-beaten and is uninhabitable.
Okay. Is there any other buildings in the local vicinity?
The decrepit state of the external sides of the Black Cask is the most structurally intact structure in your vicinity. You turn and you look around. There are lots of what used to be buildings with now trees, desert trees growing through them, some cacti, but most of it is rubble. To your north, in the distance, there looks to be the shimmer of water with some kind of lake. And to the south, you just see the black dunes of the southern desert as far as to the horizon.
Interesting.
Any idea where we are?
Dahnundur, you do not have any idea. What? Can you roll me an intelligence check? It's general law.
Would any of us know?
Natural 5.
On a natural
So great
5,
success.
You don't know where you are. You believe, well, you know you're in the desert. You know you're in the desert, and the only desert you're aware of is the one where Dahnundur is. So you don't think you've, like, in terms of the SilverWind coast and where you feel you could have gone, you are not that far from where you were. But that far is tricky to gauge. What are the rest of you doing?
Check the back door.
The back door. Ravik, as you open the door, palm trees, decrepit buildings, sand, and in the distance, mountains.
Do I recognize this place at all?
No. So Dahnundur studied a level of geography.
Yeah.
You have
okay.
no idea.
Okay.
This is like, no, you have no idea. Even as you look up at the stars, you're far enough away not for constellations to be different, but for it to take you a while to recognize what's where, because you've traveled significantly.
That's a point. Star constellations.
Yeah?
Do I know where we are from them? Considering I've got a seafaring background and I'm a
Ooh.
sidereal elf.
Okay. And you rolled the 5. Well, now that you're specific, roll me one more time, because now you're changing tack from looking around to looking up.
Yeah, natural 3.
Okay. Geographically, you, well, actually on a natural 3, So you reckon you're still on the same equatorial level as Dahnundur, but you are about 250 miles east.
Brilliant.
Tristan,
Yes.
as the door opens
Mhm.
and you see what Ravik and Ilinda see from the inside, now that Ravik has opened the back door as well, and you can see the mountains, you know that the mountains that you are looking at are the Tall Blue Mountains, and they mark the eastern border of Dahnundur's current legislative territory. Also, I mean, are you staying inside, Tristan, or are you stepping outside of the tavern, or?
Wait a minute. What? The what mountains?
The Tall Blue Mountains. One word, Tall Blue.
Right, everyone back inside.
Oh, what are we going to do, Zara? What are we going to do?
Elendor,
Yes.
I don't know what you can do, right? But somehow you need to act like a
You need to-
booster.
I need to act like what?
A booster.
What? What are you talking about?
I can try and tap into shadow magic. Okay. If I try and use my shadow drawn ability, but tapped into the tavern to make it transport, I don't know if that will work. I don't know if it'll work, but it could get us back.
Okay, Zara. Before you do anything further, I just do need to check with Tristan what Tristan is doing. Are you staying in the tavern or are you stepping outside?
I do want to step outside, like the
Okay.
front way. You said Ilendor saw some water?
Yeah. So, based on Ilinda saying what he said and you figuring out what you figured out, this place is known to you, Tristan. The Tall Blue Mountains to the west are the current eastern border. You're further east than the eastern border of Dahnundur's kind of territory, but they did used to be a Siberic presence here. This is a failed settlement and is now known only as the Ruins. To the north is Oasis Lake,
Oasis.
and beyond Oasis Lake, you know, are the jungles of Cobb.
How far is the oasis?
Oh, you're on the waterfront. That the oasis was the water source for the settlement.
Okay.
And on a success cylinder, you know that the rivers from Oasis Lake go beyond what is known to be mapped. Like in surety, there are very few explorers who have ventured this far east and southeast. But you do believe, based on our current understanding of the river system, that you can follow the river round and up through the jungle of Cobb to end up on the other side of the mountains where Karamiel is.
Interesting.
However, Zaro, you have also suggested Shadowjawn, which you'd like to, I mean, what would you all like to do?
Well, ultimately, we can't go wrong by trying experimenting with magic.
I
So the worst we can.
I love Ilinda so much.
I feel like that's a trait in me, though. I feel like all my characters have that trait.
We can't go wrong with experimenting with magic. All right, fantastic.
Hey man, it gave me wings.
Red Bull. No, don't sue us.
Yeah. I don't think they can just for mentioning it.
Oh no.
We
Well,
should try.
Go on.
We should try to get back to Dahnundur. We were meant to meet them. You know,
See,
our family,
everyone's
our
there.
friends.
Tennyson.
Yeah, not to mention Tennyson.
Right, sweet. Let's try that then.
So Ilander and Zaro, because you're both familiar or more familiar with what's happened, basically, because it was an unexpected sudden transference, you don't know necessarily what's happened, but basically Tennyson and the others, the guards, they fell through the transference. So you don't know if they've ended up like in the same space that they were in, but in a different tavern, or you don't know the effects of what that happened. And you do know that that has happened, and you all, well, you can try again.
Oh.
Hold on, I wanna try something. I wanna leave the tavern, go down to the water's edge, and I wanna try Spirited Away again.
Okay, you head down to the water's edge. Does Spirited increase your DDM by 1, yeah? You need to roll a DDM check.
It's a monk point. Oh, yeah, probably.
So, firstly, I need you to, because of everything that's happened, I need you to roll a DDM check, first of all, because this will retroactively affect other things.
That's an 8, that's a pass.
Fine, your DDM increases by 1, and now I need the DDM check for this casting.
Oh, okay. That's a 20, that's a pass.
Your DDM increases by 1. You move to sit next to the river. Ilander, you watch as Dristan heads and sits next to the river, the Oasis Lake, rather, and seems to remain still. Dristan, you push your key from your form, and you are standing in much a similar way to you were in kind of an apparition form. Ilander, your teeth buzz, but you cannot. All you see is that Dristan is sitting meditating. Dristan, what are you doing?
Is it just me and my robes, or did my backpack come with me?
Everything that you had on you came with you.
Cool. I want to take a look around with the axe in hand.
Okay.
If anything reacts, if this is known.
You do not have the axe in your ethereal. Oh, sorry, when I was saying it came with you, that's when you were teleported to the inn. When you're in ethereal form, it's just you're not physical. You can't carry or interact with things.
Right.
Yeah, and it's not an ethereal axe. You have an actual purple hand axe now.
Oh, cool. How did? Okay. Here's the thing. I want to go if nothing looks abnormal or up here on the surface. I want to go down into the water.
Okay, you head down into the water. Do you have to end your turn in an open space?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
In your ethereal form, you're going to struggle going underwater then.
Really? That doesn't... Okay. Is water an object?
Yes.
Ah.
It's not air.
It's not air. I think air gets the exception because of the lack of density. I think water runs the mark.
Liquid's thicker than gas,
Yeah,
basically.
Yes. There's probably nothing there. Oh. Yeah, I'll leave it. I'll just turn back and then go back to the tavern.
Can you roll me, however, as you are interacting with things, can you roll me a perception check, please?
It's a natural 3. Great success.
Okay. So as you head down to the lake, you are not sure of anything kind of special or weird going on in that traditional sense. But you look across the water, it's very dark. To your northwest are swamplands, which would open out, you are aware, to the great, they like the east end of the plains that you crossed to get to Dahnundur. You know that is a way through as well. And as you look at the Tall Blue Mountains, you know that the water from here is, the Tall Blue Mountains are the source for the river from the other side. So if you can get through, you know that you can follow the river to Dahnundur again. But when it comes to actual, no, there's nothing significant that you clock or feel.
Okay.
Okay, so you return to your form, you stand. Okay.
Return.
Okay. So you're all in the tavern. Okay. What are we doing?
Can we have a short rest?
Okay. Oh yeah, I'll allow it. Yeah, that counts as a combat. You can have this have taken a short rest while everything's going on. Yeah, go for it.
Because I'd like to try and get
your points back.
Yeah, I got both of them back.
Excellent.
And
you want to cast Fireball again?
I really do. But is there a way that if I cast Fireball and sort of try and contain it, and then he fires his shadow arrow at that fireball, it's going to end in absolute nightmare.
I mean, I'd welcome. Well, I wouldn't welcome, but it would make it a lot easier for me to end the campaign this early.
It's only a fireball. It won't kill me. I've got 40 hit points.
What's the No, I'm thinking more portable hole inside of a sack of a bag of holding situation.
Yeah. Well, what was your idea again, Zara?
Basically, to Elendor kind of like amplify my abilities, but I use my ability Shadow Drawn, which is the transportation between shadows, and this is a shadow magic tavern. So if I can somehow tap into it and activate it again, and think about Dahnundur, then maybe we could get
I think there's a way of doing that?
I think there's a chance.
Because Elendor activated by tapping into it, but he accidentally triggered it.
What Illinder did was completely accidental, and it was like completely accidental. What you're suggesting doing is actually using something that might be relevant.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
let's try it then.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Zaro. So you are going to use Shadow Jaunt.
Yes.
You're going to try and activate Shadow Jaunt with the tavern.
Yes. I'll take the points off my abilities.
Storble, while all this has been going on, the tavern is very well stocked.
Can't drink at a time like this.
One other thing.
That's character development right there.
One other thing.
Wow.
One other thing before I do it, right? Yeah. All hold on to each other.
And when I say that, I will grab a little bottle, so just for later,
just in case.
But yeah, all hold on to each other.
So even if I'm not helpful, I want to pretend that I'm helpful.
Yeah.
And so I'm holding onto his head and chanting something.
Okay. All right. Okay. Fair enough. Roll a charisma check, Illinder.
Oh, no!
That's either a 20 or a 1.
You roll a 20.
It's a natural 1!
What?
How do you do that?
I don't know.
Here's what's going to happen, Zaro. So the way the placebo effect works is it's generally a 30% 30% augmentative. So if you basically whatever we end up rolling, you have a plus 30% to these rolls. Okay. The first thing you need to do is roll an intelligence arcane law check.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
I really didn't expect that.
Okay. That is a 14 success.
14. So is that 14 after the -1 for arcane law?
So 14 with arcane law went to 15. Right.
No, you're rolling low. So 14 becomes a 13.
Right, 14 becomes 13. Yeah, that's fine.
Becomes a 7. You have a +6 modifier from Illander.
Becomes a 7. 7's a great success.
Great success. Okay.
Nice.
Everything starts to shake a little bit as you begin interacting with the foundation, not the physical foundations, but the ephemeral foundations of this town. I now need you to roll a luck willpower save.
And with Jask, I have willpower.
Okay. I will allow you to use Jask, but I will remind you that if you fail with Jask, he will bear repercussions as well as you.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay. It's a natural one. Natural one. Okay.
Nice.
Natural.
Wow.
Your luck is reduced by 1.
Got it.
Okay. Now, you are thinking of Dahnundur,
Yes.
but this is the other end of the country,
Right.
so it's not a guaranteed shout. With Illandur's modifiers, I can guarantee that you are not transported to the Autumn Isles. Beyond that, it's going to be. Sorry, go on, Ravik.
No, it's fine.
Because you're focusing on Dahnundur. Okay. However, beyond that, now we're into straight territory. Illandur's modifier has made sure that you are on the mainland.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Please roll a D2, Zara.
Okay. 1, 2, 3 is 1. Yeah. 4, 2.
Okay. You're not going to end up where you were because you're traveling from there, so that's fine. I need you to roll a D2, please. Yeah.
Okay. A 1.
Okay. I now need you to roll a DDM check.
Okay, it's fine. It's 12.
Okay. Your DDM increases by 1.
Yep.
You have. I now need everyone to roll a soft luck check, please.
And success.
Just roll a 7.
Okay, 10 success.
Zara, you need to. No, you're doing the spell. That's okay.
Can he use a reroll?
You may use a reroll. This is a luck check.
10. That's a plus.
Okay.
I used a reroll and
We
I
can use rerolls on
succeed.
soft checks.
I will allow it in this circumstance. Yeah.
I don't want to lose any of my items.
more that we might get stuffed somewhere else if.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Let's split the party.
That's
Zaro?
the continent.
so you all succeeded the soft luck checks, yeah? Okay. Your ears pop. You all remain together. Storble, can you please roll because you're actually using Shadow Jauncher and you're thinking of Dahnundur.
Yeah.
Illander. Okay, I need everyone now, except for Zaro, not Tristan Storble. Ravik, Ilander. Okay, hang on one moment because there's a few things that are going on in play now. Zaro, you've been focusing on Dahnundur as best you can, considering you're from halfway across the world.
Yeah.
Okay, but you have been focusing on Dahnundur.
Yeah.
Ravik, I need you to roll a passive luck check, please.
Another 10. Success.
Okay. And again, please, Ravik.
Okay. That is a 5. Great success.
Ilander,
Mm-hmm.
I need you to roll a passive luck check, please.
7. It's a success.
Storble, I need you to roll a passive luck check, please.
2.
And one more.
Oh, no. That's a 4.
That's everyone.
Tristan.
No, Tristan wouldn't have one for this stance.
Okay.
And Zaro, you've already rolled for Jask. But everyone succeeded, and you passed all the checks. Your ears pop. And Zaro and Ilander, you both immediately understand that something has gone wrong.
Great.
Standard.
But, as things start to go wrong, Zaro, you see that you have tapped into a vast, powerful network of shadows beyond what you would otherwise be able to use or comprehend. And you have focused on Dahnundur, but you don't really have much that links you to Dahnundur other than the reason that you're there. So you don't focus on the city of Dahnundur, you don't focus on the buildings or the geography or the location. You focus on a very select set of individuals. Not only have you done this, but you've got the geography quite badly wrong. You have not traveled back to Dahnundur. You have traveled to the only city that you're actually familiar with on the southern half of the continent.
Oh no.
But whilst in transit, you've tapped into something, as I say, larger than you understand. You have missed your destination instinctively and deliberately. There is a loud, it hurts, it's like in your ears, as there is a sudden and powerful transference of matter. All of your DDMs increase by 3.
Sweet.
So
Okay.
for me again, by 3.
Yes, your DDMs have shot up. You have tapped into things that are powerful and dangerous. You've basically tapped into the webway network that is powered by monstrous beings, and you've kind of gone, I'm going to hail a taxi. And you find yourselves rocking gently to and fro, all with your eyes closed. You slowly open, and you're not standing in a tavern. You're standing in a wooden room that is rocking. And you hear the sounds of water.
Do I recognize this room?
You are standing in the guest quarters of the Sea Maiden, and the ship is rocking, not as it would under anchor,
Yes!
Oh.
Wait.
What did I say, boys? What did I say?
I gingerly opened the door.
Yeah.
It is dark. It is nighttime, and you hear shouts and voices as crew members are calling to each other in confusion. Hey, what be this then? Where be the no authorities? Boys, who's been sharing the pipe weed laced with the lead again? What be going on here? And as you look around, Philip is shouting at several men.
Yes!
What? I thought we'd leave this city. And you look around, the tall, imposing visage of West Point is it's visible, but many miles to your southeast.
Brilliant.
Zaro, you have tapped into your desire to head north, and you have transported your party and the Sea Maiden to West Point again.
Oh, great.
Heading north, outside of the range of the guns.
Hey, that worked out pretty well. So we
I just walk up.
just
And the Sea Maiden.
You tapped into, well,
and
here's
this.
the thing, Zaro. Here's the thing. Yeah, how on earth, how could you have tapped into the Sea Maiden if you were tapping into a webway network?
Oh dear.
That's a bit booky. That's a bit.
And as you walk out onto the deck,
Yeah.
and we rolled for each of these individually, Tech, Yuruz, Philip, Attic, and Tennyson are all
Damn it.
And
Why did you
Stand-
succeed, Storble?
Oh.
It just like kicked Tech over the boat.
and we will leave the reuniting for next time. Thank you very much for playing this evening. It's been a pleasure.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
That went.
That
totally
was,
was
yeah,
different to what I
that
expected.
wasn't really what I saw coming.
Fantastic.
So yeah.
Ah,
It
thank
went
you.
incredibly right, and yet incredibly wrong.
Isn't it?
Mamma
That was
mia.
brilliant.